Okay, sorry. I realized my mic was off. I thought the settings moved over and they didn't. Okay, sorry. Very new at streaming on this, as you can tell. I think this is only like my second stream, maybe third stream on this channel, and so I'm trying to get my OBS to work for this channel and my others, and so some of my settings have moved over and some of them haven't, and it's very confusing. Sorry. So let me start all over again. Hi, I'm Megan, and I'm here to go over all the books I read in 2025, which was about 100, which I didn't think sounded like a whole lot, especially considering, like, you know, I've seen people like on TikTok and YouTube saying, "Oh, I read 300, I read 200." So 100 didn't seem like a lot to me until I put them all into this tier list maker thing. Then I was like, "Oh, no, that is a lot." Okay. So I went ahead and changed the tier list rankings here, just to try and streamline how this is gonna work. So it's like, I dislike them, I like them, I really liked them, I loved them, and then 5 or more star reads, like perfection. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not really sure where to start here. I think just gonna go like this, go just across. Maybe that will streamline it. I don't know. I'm also gonna clarify which ones were arcs, because like this one right here, Zom Romcom, loved it. That was a arc. I was really surprised I got that one. Well, I say that. I didn't actually have to wait to be approved for it. It was a read now one, but I was really surprised they did it because this is when I first started really getting into NetGalley, and so I didn't think Berkeley really did read now because they're such a major publisher, and they're like notorious for like really hard to get their arcs. So I didn't know they really did read nows very often. I found out now they do them fairly often now, but on like some of their smaller things. But I was really surprised I got this one. I really like this one a lot. I love the cover. I don't know if you can see that really well on the screen, but I think the cover is really pretty. I'm trying to remember it. This is obviously, these are all books I read a while back, so some of these I'm not going to remember very well. But I do remember liking this one a lot. I remember I got on a kick of trying to find other like zombie or apocalypse romance books after this one because I like this one a lot. And so the next one is Under Lock and Key. I remember loving that one. I think most of these are going to be loves because I generally don't pick up a book I don't think I'm going to like, you know? Like who does that? There are a few books in here that like I read because of they were read nows and I really needed to boost my score in NetGalley. And there's a few on here that I read like let's see. Let me see if I can find it. There's like one or two on here that I read because of like there was an event going on NetGalley to get a badge, and I am a sucker for a badge. So I will do just about anything, including read books that I normally wouldn't. And so there are some on here that I'm like, I recognize it's not a bad book. It just wasn't my taste. Yeah. So I did a reread of Charlotte Harris. I think I'm going to do a separate... Can I do it? Can I add another one? Can I... How do I do that? Might be different because I did the one-time use ones. Let's see. Add a row below. Okay. Make that gray, I guess. Okay. I'm going to put this in for rereads because I feel like it's not really fair to rank them the same just because of like you're going to feel differently about a book the second time you read it versus the first time. And obviously you're not going to reread a book you didn't like, and it may not, I don't know, I just feel like it's not really within the, like, how to do this. I don't know. So I'm going to put rereads here. I did really like this one. I don't think I liked it as much the second time as I did the first time because the first time I read it, I absolutely loved it, and I ended up reading like the next 6 books in this series all back to back after that. And this one I read it and I kind of took me a while to get through it, but it also came in because I had a lot of other books going on at the time when I was rereading this, and when I first read it I didn't because I really wasn't reading a lot back then. So I don't know. And then let's see, Veiled Kingdom. I remember really liking this. I don't remember much about it, unfortunately, but I do know that I added the next books in the series to my TBR after this, and I read this, I think, around Christmas, because I remember I added the books to my Christmas list because this was a library book. Yeah, I don't really remember it very well. A lot of this is going to be like that, where I just don't remember them very well. I remember vibes, but I don't remember details, if that makes sense. So, make sure I can actually see my chat, just in case. Alright, so the next one is this one. I remember the story of this one. It's about two childhood friends who lost touch and they got reconnected and they're trying to find some treasure together. I remember liking this. I don't remember loving it. Yeah. I remember thinking it was really cute. It was an arc. I remember that. But I read it once again, like at the beginning of the year, I think. So it's been like a while. And The Cruel Prince, love it. I think I actually gave it 5 stars, actually, now I think about it. I also feel like part of the reason I like this so much was because it is my little sister's favorite book, and so I'm able to talk to her about it a little bit. And I really realized that I enjoy books more when I have other people who've read them that I can talk about them with. That's one of the reasons why I like the Heated Rivalry series so much, was because of like when I was reading it, it seemed like everyone was reading it, and so it just felt like BookTok was just one giant book club to me, and it was great. Oh, my camera is still... There we go. I don't have a way of looking at myself in the camera while I'm doing this. I keep moving and getting out of the frame. Okay, so this one, I remember not liking this one very much. This is another arc. I actually want to give this one a second shot because of... I read this kind of like when I was in a little bit of a book funk and everything. And on top of that, I've read some reviews since then that were like 4-star, 5-star reviews. And like, oh, I actually do agree with this, with their stance on it. And I'm like, oh, that's not how I originally read it or whatever, how I originally like interpreted how things were being said and done. And so I was like, okay, maybe if I reread it, maybe I would feel differently. But at the time, I didn't really like it very much. And this one was, I liked it. It's just like basically a very short story in the whole her universe of her books, where it's a connecting link between her Ruinous Love series and her new series that she's doing. And I so far am thinking I'm liking the new series more than the original, which I'm very shocked to say because I really liked the first book in her Ruinous Love series. I like all of them, really. I think I like the books so much because I like the brothers who are the main characters, like the main male love interest in all of them. I like them so much. I think maybe if she had the same exact story but with different characters, like different male characters or something, I wouldn't like it as much just because I like them so much. Also, I did read some of them, if not all of them, on audiobook, and I will almost always enjoy the audiobook more than the original book if I read the audiobook first. I don't know why. I think it's because I was read to a lot as a kid. I think that might be it. So blame my mom. I remember thinking this was okay. I think I actually need to add another bracket. Wait, what? No! What's going on? That's not what I thought would happen. Okay. So I'm going to do one for, it was okay. Like, it was alright. I didn't dislike it. I didn't like it. So, I think that's fair. Okay. So next one is Book Boyfriend. I remember liking this one a good bit. I actually want to reread this one because I don't remember it very well. And I hadn't read the book series entirely that this one is kind of, not based on, but like as referencing. So the story of this one is about a girl who works in like publishing or something, and she really likes this romantic, and she really likes this romantic like series, and it's basically Avatar. No, It's basically ACOTAR. And I don't know why I said Avatar. It's basically ACOTAR. And she goes to like this fan experience or something for it. And then she happens to run into her rival from work there, who makes fun of her reading and things like that. And so she's confused on why he's there. And of course, they bond, they fall in love, and all that good stuff. But at the time, I had not finished reading ACOTAR. I've only read, I think, the first book, I think, where you still think Tamlin's a good guy and everything. And so, I mean, granted, obviously I knew another guy was going to show up. You know, they never go with the blonde. But, so I think I want to reread this one when I'm done with the ACOTAR series. I'm still stuck in book 3. Yeah, I think it's 3, yeah. The pink one. I loved the second one so much. Absolutely loved it. Devoured it. And then I started reading the next one after that, and I just got burnt out on it. And I'm like halfway through the pink one, and I have been for like over a year now. No, not over a year. Maybe a year? I'm not sure. It's been a long time. Like, I'm pretty sure my book has dust on it. So, like, I want to pick that back up. I want to read it, and, like, I want to finish that series, the ACOTAR series, in time for the new book to come out. Because I want to be able to read that when everything's fresh in my mind a little bit. So I need to get back on that. But I want to reread this one when I'm done with ACOTAR. Because it's, like, it's so obviously about ACOTAR. Just so obviously. And this one, oh, I love this one. I loved it. It made me want to rewatch like Indiana Jones and that kind of stuff. It's about these two archaeologists, and it's, as you can tell from the cover, it's just set in like the 1800s or 1900s, something like that. I can't remember exactly. And they basically are forced to work together on like a dig that's like in her hometown or near her hometown or something like that. And they're complete opposites, and it's just, I love it. It's cute, it's fun. The only thing is, what's a little confusing is there's this is the second book of the series, and they either don't reference the first book that much, or this was written before or after. I'm not sure. I think maybe this was like, with the way it's handled, because the first book's about the main male character's sister. And the way that they talk about her in the book makes me think that this book, the second one, is actually a prequel to the first book. Because it seems like he's still talking about his sister being alone or something like that. And like maybe she has another sister, but he never mentions her. And he's very close to his sister and his family and everything. So it seems weird he would never mention having another sister. I don't know. It's kind of confusing and weird. But you don't really notice or think anything about it unless you know that there's another book. I didn't know until I was like over halfway through the book, when I already knew I was going to love it, and I wanted to see if they had written any more. Oh, and by the way, I got this as an arc too. And this was an arc, forgot to mention. Yeah, so for this one was an arc, this one was an arc, arc. Yeah. I don't think I got this as an arc. I think I actually got this off Audible. I think. Yeah. The next is Swept Up. I really liked it at the time I was reading it, but looking back on it, I think I just liked it, if that makes sense. Like, you know how you're reading a book and you're really in the moment and everything like that, and you really like it, but after you think about it and let it, like, things like kind of just simmer a bit, you like think about it a little more, and you're like, oh, that is kind of weird, or oh, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it kind of was that way. It was like, it was okay. It was pretty good. I think I really liked it when I read it, but when I'm thinking back on it, it was pretty good, but like I didn't love it. Next is Twilight, which is a reread. I was heavily Team Jacob in high school. A lot, like an embarrassing amount. I was obsessed with these books, an embarrassing amount. Like even for that time. Well, at least I was reading, you know? But still. But I decided I was going to reread the entire series and try annotating them. because I really want to try getting into like annotating my books so I can remember what I'm reading better. Because as you can tell already, I'm not remembering a lot of what I'm reading. I'm just not. It is not because I am like skimming or reading just dialogue like some people do or something like that to try and get through books faster. I'm not. My memory is just awful. It's awful. I have to write everything down, keep to-do lists, make notes on everything because my memory is just really bad. And I think I need to start doing that with my reading as well for books I really want to try to remember. And I really want to read the Midnight Sun, the newest Twilight book, the one that's like from Edward's perspective. And I really wanted to just reread the whole series. And so I annotated my Twilight book, and I'm really happy I did. It was a lot of fun. It did take me a lot longer to read it, understandably. But I feel like I retained more of it. Like I can tell you a lot more about the story of Twilight now, but I think part of that also might just be because it was reread, you know? Like, of course you're going to remember more of a book you read twice than when you only read once, but whatever. But I plan on doing more of those. I actually made a video about me annotating this if you want to see more about my reactions and thoughts and feelings and all that stuff. Let's see, and then the next one was, okay, this is another arc. I liked this one. I like this one a good bit. So I think this is probably the top of the liked. I wouldn't say I really liked it, but I did like it a good bit. And actually, I think I really liked it. I keep saying that. I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, that was really cute. Now, the only thing is that I wasn't expecting it to be so, campy's not the word I'm thinking of, but like, not too serious. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, but once I got into the groove of it, and got really started and got used to the tone and everything, I liked it a lot more. And then next is that one. I did not like that one. I barely finished it. Oh gosh, my main problems with it was it's an age gap romance. I knew that going in or whatever, but the main male character, who's the oldest one, just harps on it too much. We're like, okay, we get it. You think you're old. You're not. You're like 30 something, and she's in her mid 20s. It's not horrible, not great, but it's not, you're making it sound as if you're like dating a child or something. And on top of that, her family, because she's like an older brother who's the main character from like another book from Allie Hazelwood, the way they talk to her is insufferable. The way they all talk down to her, like she really is like a child. Like they talk to her like she's like 5 or something sometimes. And she is an adult. She's in her mid-20s. She has like a master's degree or a PhD or something. I think she has a master's degree and she's getting a PhD or something. Like, she has higher education is what I'm saying. And she has like a decent job and everything like that. And they're treating her like she's a child who is just playing around or something like that and not very serious. And it's so annoying. It made me dislike the characters from the first book more because of how annoying they were with her. Now, granted, I did like how the main female character from the previous book was written in this one. They changed her personality just a smidge, I think. And I didn't like her all that much in her book. I liked her a little more in here. She wasn't quite as bad about treating the main female character in this book like a child as the main male character was, or any of the other characters for that matter. But she still wasn't great about it. A little annoying. But whatever. I finished it. Only barely. Here's another one that I almost didn't finish. It was they were so childish. It was awful. It was just awful. I'm shocked I finished this one. I thought I DNF'd this one. It wasn't until I looked through all of my books on my story graph, I was like, oh, I finished that one. I thought I DNF'd it. Because like their thing is it's enemies to lovers. They have no real reason to dislike each other. Not really. She's just doing her job, and he doesn't like it. Not a good reason. And they play like these pranks on each other. They're not pranks. They're just mean. That's all. They're just mean and childish. And I would complain about how childish this is, even if it were set in high school. I did not like that one. And the next one is finally some good ones. Fourth Wing. Amazing. Obsessed. Where's the next book? I'm gonna go ahead and just do that one. I like this one a lot. I did not like Iron Flame as much as I liked Fourth Wing. However, I expected that going in because whenever there's like a, shadow, character, whatever, and the girl's like, oh, will they, won't they? Once they get together, I kind of lose interest in him. I don't know what that says about me. Probably nothing good. But once they get together, I don't really care as much anymore. And I think that's part of the reason why I can't finish the third book in ACOTAR. Because they're together now. And I don't know what that says about me. But once he becomes the loving boyfriend, I don't care anymore. But I still think I still ranked this one 5 stars, I think I did. I know I didn't like one as much as this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it down here. I'm going to put it at the top of Loved, though. And this one is another arc. This is the first arc I ever got, I think, actually. It was okay. She kind of annoyed me a little bit. I feel like they didn't, go into their character or anything like that. I feel like it wasn't enough development and things like that. Just general, little problems here and there that all kind of just stacked on top of each other. On top of that, I just don't love contemporary romance quite as much as other things because I feel like you need something other than just the romance to make the story interesting. And this one really was just romance. I think the highest rated contemporary romance thing on here would probably be this. And they had a lot going on here. And so I just feel like, yeah, normally I don't. It has to be something else. The zombies are going on, or he's a monster, really, or they're both archaeologists. Because I love Indiana Jones. Who doesn't? And so anything that's slightly like that, I'm going to love it. But I say that as soon as I bring up this, and I absolutely love this one. I love that series. It's so cute. And the only thing is so I read the series completely out of order, and I'm reading. Did I finish it this year, Yeah, I finished it this year. The When in Rome, the first book in that series, and that is her brother, and it's also his best friend. And of course, so he's in this guy. My character is in When in Rome, and his character is completely different, and it's really jarring. But I'm also trying to think of it. Okay, the books. It's 4 books in the whole series, and this is the last one. And When in Rome is the first one. And so, okay, maybe it's character growth because, it's going to be some years apart and everything like that. But that was a little jarring at first. But I really liked how his character is in this book. It just seems more fleshed out. It seems a little more real, obviously, because it's his book, so he should feel that way. But because in When in Rome, he's just a stereotypical guy best friend, makes a few quips. Makes fun of him for liking the girl, that sort of thing. Which he's very much not like that in this book. And the next is Scythe and Sparrow, which is part of the same series as this one here. I loved this one. I feel like it's a controversial opinion because of I see a lot of people's rankings of the series, and they always put this one last. I really liked this one. I liked how this is the first time they've had any consequences for all of the unaliving, or whatever you want to say. Because that's one of my main criticisms for the whole series is they do all this stuff and they're not subtle. And they don't try and hide it very well. And it's just, they don't have any consequences. There's never any cops. It's just, yeah. The most consequences they have are I don't want to give any spoilers, but they have 1 or 2 little small consequences that, someone finds them that shouldn't be finding them. But it's still never cops. How dumb are cops in this universe, Anyway. Here's another one. It was, what is the name of it? I can't see the whole name of it. A Killer Kind of Romance. Okay. I think I really liked this when I read it, but looking back on it, it took a really long time to get to the story. And I remember being really annoyed with that. Oh gosh, stuff doesn't actually start happening for so long. Like, speed it up just a smidge here. But I remember liking the characters a little bit. I didn't love her a whole lot, but, you know, a lot of her flaws need to be there in order for the story to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how, like, they'll have, like, those memes of, they'll, like, have, like, this really big book, and they're like, oh, that's the original story, and then they have those really short ones, like, oh, that's the story if the person just had a gun or something. You know, it's sort of like that, where the book is only able to happen because she is the way that she is. If she made good, sound decisions and stuff, nothing would happen. You know? So, take it with a grain of salt. I don't remember how I felt about this one in the moment, but looking back on it, I'm looking like, meh. It was alright. I definitely, like, I think I've read the next book in the series already, or I know I've read it. I can't remember if I read it this year, or maybe I hadn't finished it yet. Anyway. Meh. She kind of annoys me, but whatever. Just not much to say about it. It was okay. Next is, oh gosh, it was a 5-star read. I loved First Time Caller. Loved it. I'm reading the second book right now, and now Back to You, and I love it even more so far. I'm only about, I think I'm about 30-something% of the way through the book, and I'm loving it even more than this one. I did not think that was possible. I love this one so much. This is a very rare occurrence of a contemporary romance being 5 stars for me. I loved her writing. I loved the characters. I loved it. Now, looking back on it a little bit, I do think they could have, like, some of their characters could be a little more fleshed out. But it was still so sweet. I love the writing style and everything. I loved it. I was really surprised that I loved this as much as I did, because of, I didn't like the Love Light series, the Love Light Farms, or whatever it's called, her other series, where it's like at a Christmas farm. I read the first book, 5-star read all the way through until the third act breakup, and I was so mad at it. It was one of the worst third act breakups I've ever read. It was so annoying. It completely ruined the rest of the book for me, and I tried reading the rest of that series, and I just can't get past it. But, so I was really surprised this one was a 5-star read for me. But I really loved it. And then speaking of 5-star reads, that one, Tusk Love, loved it. Didn't think I would, because it's based off a book from Critical Role. Like, it's an in-universe book that one of the characters in Critical Role, like, keeps around her and reads a little bit during their travels. And someone actually wrote it. Like, they actually hired someone to write the actual book. And I loved it. It is about Oscar, who is like a half orc or half something. And then there's a girl, I can't remember a lot of the detail, like nitty-gritty details. And then, like, the merchant's daughter, and she gets stuck in the woods, and he comes and saves her, and then she loses all of her stuff, like, in a fire that she kind of caused, and he doesn't really have to, but he offers to help take her to her parents, and they, of course, fall in love along the way. I'm a sucker for road trip romance book, and this kind of just made me realize that that's a trope I really like, and I started looking up some more to try and find some. This one, it was okay. It was alright. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember this one very well at all. But I remember not getting through it very quickly or easily. I do remember that much. But after you read, like, the rest of the series, it's kind of like they're not that different after a while. But it was cute. Like I said, I didn't. My favorite one was the I can't remember all their names, because their names, I feel like, don't really go along with the book very well. The one where it's the really nice brother and the interior designer. That one was my favorite one. But and then I liked the one about the oldest brother more than I expected I would, because I really didn't like him in the other book. I thought he was super annoying, but he kind of grew on me in his book. Still didn't like the girl that was like his romantic interest in that one though. Teddy, that was her name. She's like the main sister's best friend or something like that. Still didn't like her a whole lot, but whatever. Nothing's perfect. Scott and Bothered. I remember liking this one. Now, this one, I like the setting and the world and everything more than I like the characters, if that makes sense. Because it's like set in Scotland, as you can tell from the name. And, yeah. I keep coming out of the frame. Okay, there we go. And, let's see. Yeah, that one's alright. This one, I can't remember if I disliked it or it was just meh. I remember not liking it a lot, but I do remember it made me go look up more horror romance books, though. But this was another one that was just very slow. And not like slow burn, because once they actually meet, it's not that slow burn. But it took so long for something to just happen. Like, over half the book is just her, like, hearing noises in the background in the house, here and there, and, like, kind of brushing it off. And it's just, it was just so slow. I remember thinking, I was like, okay, when is this gonna pick up? Hurry up and have something happen, please. But it did make me, like, go find more horror romance books, because I really liked that aspect of it, which I didn't think I would, because I don't really like horror books. So I was really surprised I liked that. This was another arc, by the way. So was this one. So is this one. I keep forgetting to say when they're arcs. So here's Caught Up. I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't near as good as Lights Out, because Lights Out was obviously the best one so far. I recently finished Game On, and I like Game On much more than this one. So out of the whole three, Caught Up's my least favorite one. But it was alright. Next is Heartstopper. Loved it. Loved that whole series. Where are the other ones? I'm just going to go ahead and put all of them in here, because I think I put all of them in here, yeah. I think I've read all of them. Okay, I know I've read all of them. I can't remember if I've read all of them in 2025. I guess I should say. I thought I did read all of them in 2025. I guess I didn't. Okay, this one, I got abducted and by aliens, and now I'm trapped in, like, I think it says rom-com or something. Loved it. I've actually reread this since then. I've gotten the audiobook from the library on Libby, and I've re-listened to it since then. It's just really fun read. It's absolutely insane. Do not read this if you like something serious. It's so weird and goofy, and like it's a pink dinosaur, for goodness sakes. There's a talking lion. Her name is Dorothy, and she calls the talking lion Toto. You know, there's so many jokes in there. It's not serious at all. It's for a good time, and I love it. Which I was really surprised, because the same author wrote another series that was sort of similar. It's like I got drunk and saved a demon or something. I can't remember. And I think I DNF'd that one. I really didn't like it, because, like, it was supposed to be like a medieval setting, but they were speaking really, really modern speak, and it was so jarring and annoying and weird, and I just didn't like it. And so I think I DNF'd it. I can't remember if I DNF'd it or not. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. Because it would have been this year, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. See, this is why I'm having to annotate my books now, because I can't remember anything I read. So this is one that I think I rated pretty high when I read it. because of I was like really swept up in the world and everything like that. But it was really dark. And I don't know why I kept like not really excusing it, but like kind of just pushing it to the back of my mind. And it wasn't until like later I was like, I really didn't like that, and I would not reread that, and I do not want to reread anything that's like it. So I'm gonna put I liked it because I loved it a lot at the time, but it's made it where I do check other books for how dark they are now because I do not want to do that again. Hold on, my husband's texting me. Okay. Hold on. Yep. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna text my husband real quick. Let's see, and then what was I talking about? Yeah, so it made it where I do look at how dark a book is before I read it, and I'll do a little more research on it because I really didn't like that. I didn't like how it made me feel afterwards, and I just don't want to do that again. I don't know how to say that other ways. It's just in the moment I enjoyed the story and the world building and all that stuff, and I kind of just didn't think about the darkness of it because I wanted to enjoy the rest of the book. But looking back on it, I really didn't like that, and I will not read anything like that again. And then next is a like a webtoon comic that I got the art for, but I have actually already read it like on my phone or something, like on the webtoon app. So I'm not sure if this counts as a reread or not, because I'm not sure if they changed anything other than like, because I think the artwork had to be changed because of the formatting is different, obviously, because when you're on webtoon you scroll up and scroll down, whereas a book is obviously side to side. So I think they had changed some of the artwork but not the story. So I'm not sure if this really counts as a reread or not, but I really like this one a lot. I love that story. It's such a good story. I'm not sure if I can describe the story of Muted succinctly and quickly enough for a stream. It's a pretty complicated story, kind of. It's about witches, and this girl is, like, they have families and everything. Like, they have each family's different kind of magic, and she is trying to figure out why she's able to do magic from different families and stuff like that. And it's a mystery, and there's romance, and the art is gorgeous. And there's found family, and I'm a sucker for found family trope. I really am. I'm just a sucker for it. And the artwork alone is just, it's stunning. And next is Her Night at the Museum. I like this one. I loved everything about this book so much, with the exception of some of the internal dialogue of the main female character that was a little off-putting and weird. Like, she's kind of sexualizing this statue more than a normal person should or would. And we know that the statue is not actually a statue. It's actually a knight, a real man, or whatever. And so we know it's not weird in her sexualizing a random statue. But she doesn't know that. And it's weird. It's really weird. See, this one. This is another arc that I got that I can't... I thought I DNF'd it. But it looks like I didn't. I try not to DNF any of the arcs I get. But I remember this one being like... Okay, I actually think I remember it being meh. I can't remember it being meh or dislikes. What I remember about it is it's supposed to be enemies to lovers, and they're not enemies for any good normal reason. They just are. And I remember being that really annoying. But I do remember liking some bits. I can't remember if that made up for it. But looking back on it, I remember that being just most of what I remember is being annoyed by that. So I'm gonna leave it here. I'm just gonna leave it here. And here's another one that's gonna be hard for me to rate because I read 2 books almost exactly alike, and I can't remember which one was which. Where's the other one? It's another bookstore one that's essentially the same story. Essentially. Where is it? I may not have finished the other one. Yeah, I think I just started reading them at the same time. I just didn't finish the other one because the other one wasn't an arc. This one was, I think. I like anything that's set in the bookstore. But once again, they're enemies to lovers, but it doesn't make sense for them to be. But I love anything set in a bookstore. I cannot remember if this is the one where the girl is like insufferable trying to be like an academic or something, like sound more. She sounds like she walks around with a thesaurus or something. And it's not like the author writing that way. It's more of the character is supposed to be like that way because she's insecure about not having a degree or something. And I just thought that was really annoying. Um, maybe I wouldn't find it as annoying if I myself didn't have a degree and I felt that insecurity some, maybe. But I don't, so yeah. Next is Lights Out. Loved it. I can't remember if I gave it 5 stars when I read it. I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't when I first read it. But like looking back on it and thinking more about it, and Josh is amazing. I love Josh. I'm like not really indifferent, but I like April or the girl in the book, but I love Josh. He was out of the series, he is my favorite of the male characters by like a lot. So here's another book. I read this one after this one because I was looking for more horror books, and this was like a short one. I didn't love it. I didn't like it. I think I disliked it. I don't think it was just mad. I think I just actually didn't like it. It's a short book, so like they can't flesh anything out, and some writers can handle that and actually make a short story feel like you have all the information you need and it's an actual like full story. But this one didn't really do that for me. Next is The Breakup Pact. I liked this one. There are several books I read this year where they have stories that were so similar, I'm having a hard time remembering which one's which. And I think this is the one where the girl runs a bakery, and he is like a celebrity, but like a semi-celebrity or whatever, and they both have very public breakups because hers goes viral, and he's dating someone famous, and then they decide to have a fake dating thing, to like help boost her bakery business and to help boost whatever it is he's doing, or something like that. I think that's the one that does that. And it was okay. I remember liking that they did not give the main female character the typical baker female character personality that I find annoying. So I did like that. And this one, I remember liking this one. It was another short story from like a series or whatever. I liked this one. I felt like it was a little more fleshed out. My main problem with this one was that the main female character was just so incompetent. And it was bumbling, and it was just so annoying. And I hate it when they do that. And then, like, the guy comes and, like, basically fixes it in a way. And I hated that. This one, it was a little more fleshed out. I wish they went a little more into what creature the main male character was a little bit more. But I think the mystery of it was like, part of the story, maybe, for them. I don't know. The next one is Roll for Romance. I finished reading the second book in the series. This is another arc, and I just got the arc for the second book. I really like it a lot. I don't think I gave it 5 stars when I first read it, but I really loved it. I really liked that there's 2, in both books actually, there's 2 stories going on. There's the contemporary romance of the main characters falling in love and getting to know each other while playing D&D, and the other is the storyline of other D&D characters. And I really, really like that. It makes it where there's other things going on other than just the romance or something like that, which is really what I like. Another one is a comic book, because you can get comic books and manga on NetGalley, and I get a lot of them to help boost my ratio score because I can read them really fast, obviously. This is a really sweet one. Oh, I really like this one. The artwork, once again, astounding. Made me wish I could draw. But it's about these two people that fall in love. I think they're like in another, I think they're in France or Italy. They're in another country. And she is from, not, I don't think she's from the US. I think she might be from Canada or something. And I can't remember where she's from, but I think she's from somewhere it's like one of the Asian, like an Asian country or something. So they don't speak the same language, and so they're kind of there's a language barrier, and it's them working around it and finding a common language and finding ways to communicate across language barriers, and they get to know each other, and it's so sweet and touching. And once again, the art is astounding. I love it. It was really pretty. I actually think I loved it. Just talking about it makes me think about how much I loved it. While I was reading this one, it was a dislike, but after like reading other people's reviews and thinking about it more, I was meh. My main criticism of this is that they play up there's like this whole BDSM dark thing, and like it's not like they never do it. It's just more of, I don't know. It's not really explored a whole lot. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, eh. It's just a typical romance, but they say they're into other dark stuff, but they never go into it at all. It's like they say they are. I don't remember it a whole lot. I just remember being like, eh. But it did make it where it was like my foray into, or like my beginning entrance into like sports romances, because like I think they're both swimmers, as you can tell from like the name. And this one was an audiobook I got. It was like a murder mystery. I really like this one a lot. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of like real people that are characters in this book, and so I want to go look them up, and so I can see what was real, what wasn't. And so that was a lot of fun doing the research and everything. I seeing the truth in the story. It was a lot of fun. And this one's better than the movies. This one, I bought this book for my sister, and I kind of was like interested in reading it, so I read it before I gave it to her. It was cute and sweet. I'm not someone who likes a romance that's just romance and nothing else is going on really, and that's what this is. Also, I'm not a huge fan of YA, and that's what this is. And so, it was sweet. I liked it more than I was expecting from a YA solid just romance. I did like the tie-ins from like, classic rom-coms and stuff like that. I thought it was cute. Next was Friends with Benefits. I loved this one until about the last 20% of the book, which is a little annoying. Someone put this in really liked. I also just really liked the marriage of convenience trope, and I like it usually, almost always, in a historic setting because it makes more sense. Like, it doesn't seem weird or out of place, but they found a way to make it work, fortunately, in a dark way, sort of, because she needs health insurance, and the only way to get health insurance is to marry someone. In her scenario, is to marry her best friend who has health insurance, who can put his spouse on his health insurance, and he needs help affording rent because he's a teacher and he can't afford rent anywhere, and so he needs to double income. And it's dark, the story wouldn't work, I think, anywhere outside the United States, unfortunately. But fortunately for the people, I guess. But I liked how they made the marriage of convenience like trope work in a modern setting in a way that was believable, unfortunately. Next was another arc I got. This is the second book in a series, and I still have not gotten around, I don't think I've gotten around finally to reading the first one. I really liked it a lot. I can't remember if I loved it or not, but nope, I loved it. I'm thinking about it now. Unfortunately, I read this pretty early on in the year, so I don't remember it super well, but I remember, like, thinking about maybe actually picking up other, like, not murder game, but, like, game kind of romance. It's sort of like Hunger Games, and I guess that's not really the same thing because that's really more dystopian, I think. But where they're like in a competition and they're rivals and they got to work together in the competition or something like that, but like not in a sports way, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. I don't want to give any spoilers. It's hard to explain. Next is Hot for Slayer, which is a short story, the same in like this one, and where's the other one? This one here. I think this might be my favorite Ali Hazelwood book. I loved this one so much. I wish this was a full-fledged book. Loved it. It's about a vampire and a vampire hunter, and they've been fighting each other, like going back and forth for a very, very long time, like centuries. And then suddenly the Slayer gets amnesia because he's hit in the head trying to save the vampire. And she's just like, what? That's the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing here. And so she actually like takes him in, takes care of him while he has amnesia, and I don't know, it's a great story. I've loved it. I really wish it was a full story. I love this so much. And then next is let's see, what is it? I can't read the rest of that title, but it's the next book in the series with Lattes and Legends. And I really like this one a lot. This is a nice, fun adventure. And it centers around a side character I really liked in the second book. I'm not sure if you call it the second book or the first book in the series, because the first book that came out was Legends of Lattes. And then another book came out, and I can't remember the name of it. And it's a prequel to the first book. So it's the first thing that happens in the story, but it's the second book, if that makes any sense. So I'm not really sure how that would, I don't know how that works. But this is the last book. Like, this takes place after Legends and Lattes, and I really like the side character in the prequel book, and so I really like this one a lot. Next is fan service. Because of the pre-mentioned love of Jacob from Twilight, I love anything with werewolves. I loved it. So it's about this guy here who plays basically in their version of Teen Wolf, or like a mash of Teen Wolf and Supernatural. So there's a lot of like fun fandom, little jokes and things like that in there that I loved. And so I really like that. And then, but he like played the main character who was a werewolf in this made up old series, and he's now older, and suddenly he's actually becoming a werewolf. And so he tracks down the only expert in werewolves there is, and that is his #1 fan, or used to be his #1 fan, until he says something about her, like at a fan meetup or something, that she overheard, and she doesn't like him anymore. And so it's like sort of like an enemies to lovers sort of thing. It's also a little bit of an age gap, but it's like not played up as much or as badly as like down here in probably like Summer Romance. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. There's more going on than just the romance. Like they're trying to like figure out if he's really a werewolf, because like how do you prove that? And then like next they're figuring out how he can shift and how to manage it and everything like that. And like how do you do that? Like how would you go about doing that? You know? And it's just, I loved it. I might actually reread this one. It was so much fun. Next one is The Rule Book. I like this one. It's just a cute book. Fake romance. I love a fake romance trope. I'm running over my words here. I just think it was really cute. I thought it was a little different because she was like the sports manager or something, so it was a little different. That was cute. Would have liked there was more going on than just their romance, like usual, but you know. Fake romance adds a little bit of extra story, I feel like, than just the romance. So that's why I usually like that trope. Another one is I Think I'm in Love with an Alien. Oh gosh, I love the story of this. The only thing is that the conversations the characters have in person are just so surface level that you can't buy that they're really, really close like they're supposed to be. And that's a little annoying. But everything else about this, love. Because it's about an alien who gets shipwrecked here on the edge, like here on Earth, and he's having to pretend to be human, and so how he gets interaction with other people, because of course he's lonely, He goes on a forum for people who believe in aliens. And as you can imagine, that's hilarious. And they go to a convention, like an alien sci-fi convention together, and they all meet up. It's a delight. I really liked it a lot. I got this as an arc as well. Also, you can't see the whole cover, but I love the cover. I think the cover's really pretty. I remember this being meh. I remember the third act breakup being insufferable. And I remember them not explaining the world very well. So you're like, because like some people can like turn into birds, and it's just not fleshed out well enough, I think. Here is a nonfiction book that I got. It's 24 Hours in the Viking World. I really liked this one. That was fun. I'm a history nerd, and I loved it. Yeah, just basically it took you through a typical 24-hour period in the Viking world through the eyes of actual like people that we could find information on. Well, I guess not actual people because we don't know their names and stuff like that, but like they would make up a name or something like that. But we have proof of these things that happened, and it's fascinating. I really like this one a lot. Next is Honeymoon Phase. Once again, I am a sucker for a fake romance or marriage of convenience because it's kind of both because they're actually having to get married, but they're also pretending they're in a relationship. The reason for having to get married is dumb, but it's a modern, like in a modern world, and marriage convenience is not something that really happens here unless it's for like health insurance or something like that. Hers is so she can inherit her family business, which is just dumb. But I like the characters. I like this whole series. I love this whole series. I recently got the arc for the newest book, so I'm pretty happy. Next is Go Hex Yourself. I really like this one. I remember I actually no, I really like this one. I went out and got and like borrowed or requested the second book in the series right after I got done with this one. I read this in like 2 days. I really like this one a lot. It's about a girl who's normal and a guy who's a magician, and she unknowingly takes a job working for his mother or grandmother, as like her apprentice, and she doesn't know magic is real, and hilarity ensues. They're also slight enemies to lovers a little bit, but it makes a little more sense because of she really is underqualified to be her mom's his grandmother's assistant. So like I can understand him being upset about it. Next is another nonfiction book. I can't remember the name of it. Something it was basically went over women in antiquity. It's hard for me to say. When I talk about this in my video, I had to do like a million takes of me trying to say the name of this title, and I ended up actually like saying it really slow and then editing it to make it sound like I was saying it like in a normal speed because I just cannot say that last word there. I really like this one a lot. I loved it. It basically there's 2-page spread for each person, and one's a really pretty art piece of them, like a full body thing, and then the next page is like all their information, their story, what mythology they're from, and story or history they're from, and details in their story in a nice, short, concise way. It was just a really enjoyable read. The art style worked really well for every character or person that they're doing because of they're doing people from history or characters from mythology from all sorts of different cultures and worlds, and like not worlds, but like different cultures and parts of the world. And somehow they made it where the art style is consistent, but also still feels like it goes with each person. And I thought that was really impressive. And here is the second book of Muted, which I liked just as much as the first one. I just like that series a lot. I probably am gonna buy the book eventually. If they ever do like an omnibus kind of thing where it's all of them. Next is the Gingerbread Bakery from the I don't remember the name of that series, but that series Lori Gilmore does. Can we call her Lorelai Gilmore? I think she has the perfect name for writing cozy small town romances. Gilmore. Like, don't you just think of the Gilmore Girls when you hear that name? Anyway, I liked it. I think once you've read one of these books, you've read all of them. And there's honestly at this point too many of them. But I remember liking it. I was like, it was cute. I wish there was something else going on other than romance. But whatever. This one, easy. 6-star read. Loved it. I think near the end of the year when I was trying to narrow it down to my favorite book of the year, I think Fourth Wing won. But I think this one, Tusk Love, and then this one here were like close to getting the like they were right on Fourth Wing's heels there. But basically, it's about this girl who really loves Christmas and this guy who's basically the version of like in Christmas. What's that movie called? Christmas Carol, I think. The one where all the ghosts visit the Scrooge. They're basically, he does that, and he was trying to figure out why he's visiting her because if she's not a Scrooge, she's not bad or anything like that. And it's just them falling in love, and it's just I will be rereading this every Christmas. Next is Loving a Vampire's Total Chaos. This is one of those books where I found it on Instagram from the author posting about it and falling in love with it, and then reading it and falling in love with it again. I loved it. I cannot wait for the next books. The next books. I can't remember if the second book is out already, and the third one is coming out like next year, or the second book's already come out and now the next one's gonna be coming. Like the third one's gonna be coming out soon. I don't remember. But unfortunately, I'm on a book buying ban, so I will not find out for a little bit. But I loved it. Next is Mate. Meh. I liked it more than I thought I would because of a DNF Bride, which is the first book. Well, I didn't really DNF it. I just stopped reading it. I plan on rereading it and finishing it eventually, just not now. I was like, it was alright. I was expecting a lot more out of it because the people kept talking it up, and then as I mentioned again, my love of Twilight, I assumed, vampire, werewolf series, of course I'm gonna love it. And then I didn't. No surprise. But this was alright. Meh. There were a few things that really annoyed me, but there are a few things I liked. I do think there's more things that annoyed me than I liked, though. But at least there was something going on other than just their romance. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot. Like, it was resolved super easily and quickly with minimal fuss. Like, it really wasn't much of an extra story, if that makes sense. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want any spoilers. But it was alright. Next is Shoot Your Shot, which I liked. I got this as an audiobook arc, and I don't think I would have liked it as much if I was not listening to it. Because as I said before, I always love the audiobook more than the actual book. And this is like a sports romance with a hockey player and a tattoo artist. She's a tattoo artist, but she's also like a traditional artist as well. It's a really cute, like, hockey romance. I liked it. I liked it was a little different from the typical sweet little girl, tough guy, to where it was a little more golden retriever and she was more the tough one. So I like that change in that dynamic. Made it different, a little more interesting, and something that's going to stick out in my mind over a year later. Next is another one of my first arcs I got, which was Home Office, and it's a manga about two people who are having to work from home during quarantine, and they fall in love. And it's cute. I loved it. I also really liked how it was just one volume. It's just one book. It's not like volume 1, 2, 3, and 4 like how most manga is. And so I liked how it was just one contained story. It was just really sweet. Yeah. It's about two people who work, and they're like neighbors or something, and they're working from home, and they fall in love, and it's adorable. It's sweet. Next is another nonfiction book, The Bookshop. Bookshop. And I really like this one. I like books about books. What can I say? But it's just a history of bookshops and books and things like that. And it was really interesting. I don't remember much about it because this is like I read this like the beginning of the year, so it's been over a year now. But I really liked it. Here's the second book in where did I put the first one? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I also really like this one. I do think that, like, in the beginning they made the female main character a little too, not peppy, but like kind of childish. And it doesn't until like not until after the book, you go through the book a little bit more, she gets a little more well-rounded and a little more, you see why she's the way that she is. And you start sympathizing with her and everything like that, and then it gets a little better, but in the beginning you're just kind of annoyed by her. At least I was. And this one is Love at First Fright, which is another arc I got. I really like this one. I really like this one. I just, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put in like, I think this might have won my favorite of the month that month though. But then again, it doesn't say much if I had like a dud month, you know. But it's about this girl who can see ghosts, and she's also a horror writer, and she's making a movie based off her. They're making a movie off one of her books, and he is the main lead in the movie. And they're at this house. It's like it's haunted. She can see them. No one else can. I just wish they went more with her powers. Like that's not really. Like they could have taken it out of the book, and it wouldn't have made really any difference. You know, and I thought it was kind of annoying. Like I wish that was done more. Next is An Academic Affair. I loved it. Love me a good fake romance, marriage of convenience. I love anything book about books. It's another rare example of contemporary romance that I just absolutely love. I think to make it even more than 5 stars, if there was a little more extra going on, but I really like this one a lot. I read it like really quickly. I think this is an arc too. I read that one really quickly. I think I read that in like 2 days. Which for someone who has ADHD like me, that's a high praise. Like I have a hard time sitting down and doing things. One of the reasons I don't stream that much is because it's hard for me to focus on something for this long. Like I'm really impressed with myself right now that I've been streaming for, let's see, how long have I been streaming for? Over an hour. Super proud of myself right now. Let's see, next is Soul Searching. I like this one. I think this one played into her being able to see ghosts more and better than they did in this story, because it's basically the same thing. She can see ghosts, he can't, kind of thing. I'm really excited for the second book in the series. Now, granted, I have since read some other reviews of this book that were negative, and I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from, and it made me like rethink it a little bit. So it's kind of like on the edge of really liked and liked, like now that I'm looking back on it. Yeah. Next is the, oh gosh, that's really small words. I know it's the last of the Emily Wilde series. I don't remember the name of it, and I cannot see that. My eyes are too bad. I loved it. I love that whole series. That whole series is amazing. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was a really good ending. I'm gonna miss this character so much. Miss the world, and Wendell's just amazing. I love him. I really like that one a lot. The only thing that keeps it from being 5, I think I did rate it 5 stars. Did I rate it 5 stars? I may have. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to base this tier list off how I feel about these books now. Mainly because of how my feelings have changed so much about Rose and Chains. Because I think I gave this one like nearly 5 stars. I think it might be my favorite of the month that I read this. But looking back on it, I realized that I don't like it as much as I thought I don't know how to explain that, because it sounds really weird. Like, how do you not know you like something or don't like something? I don't know. I think I was just swept up in like all the feelings of it, and then I was reading it when everyone was hyping it up and that kind of thing. I also listened to it while I was doing a sewing project, so I have a video about that as well if you want, like, you know, more in depth about it. I have it, that will link. Once I'm able to put description and stuff like that for this video or this live, I'll have that down below. It's part of my Sew Lit series, where I listen to audiobooks and sew something. I'm very proud of myself for that pun, by the way. Anyway, on to the next book. This whole series here. Do I have any other books in the series in this one? No. Love them. All of them. This one is my favorite one, so this one will go here. This whole series is great. It's about a group of like brothers. They're not really brothers. They're just really close friends, and they call each other brothers. They're all demons from hell, and they escaped and go to live normal lives and experience the human experience and everything like that. And they fall in love, of course. And I love them. I love these books so much. I don't. None of the books have gotten under 4 stars. I absolutely love all of them. This is the first book. I think this is the second one. This is the third one. I can't remember the order. This one is not one of the brothers. It's about the bounty hunter that gets sent to go try and get them to come back. And then he falls in love with someone, and it's adorable. I love it. And this one is... No, it's alright. I liked it. I think I should probably put this in man, actually. It's as you can tell from the name, Fall at Once, it's kind of meant to be a fall romance, and they kind of just, that's their whole shtick. And it gets old. Though, I read this as an arc, I think. Maybe it'd be a little different if I read it during fall, when, you're all into the fall vibes and everything. Maybe even a little different. I thought it was a really cute story. I really liked it. He's a single dad firefighter, and she is his neighbor's granddaughter who is moving in for a little bit to help at the bakery. But once again, they did not give the main female character the typical girl baker personality that I find so irritating. Like in books, I can't put my finger on it. It's always the baker female character that has this personality type, and it's so annoying. And so whenever I see a book where the main female character is a baker, I usually will not read it because I almost always find that personality type annoying. Like, I know what you're thinking, but Megan, so far everyone you've liked on here is like, no, you're not seeing all the ones I DNF'd. I've DNF'd so many of them because I find that personality type really annoying. I don't know why it's that way. I can't think of another career really that main female characters have where they always have this one same personality type for that career. I can't think of another example. I take that back. I do think social media photographers are starting to become that way, unfortunately, which is really annoying because that's my job. So that's annoying, but I've read a few books where the main female character was like a photographer, or social media person, and they did have a certain personality type that was a little annoying, and it seemed to be when they had that career, it was kind of based around that. But I'm currently reading another book where the main female character is a wedding photographer, and she's not like that, so maybe it's just those few that I had read. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Another one is Fear the Flames. I loved this one. Loved it. Can't wait to read the next ones. I gotta wait for it to come through my library, though. Basically, about dragons. About a girl wants her dragons back. Pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. Ends on a smidge of a cliffhanger. I mean, like, it's meant to be a huge cliffhanger, but like, it's a romantic-y book. You know how it's gonna play out. But I really like that one. And then here is The Mating Game. I liked this one. It was cute. Thought there was a few more spicy things that needed to be. But other than that, I thought it was fun. It was interesting. There is a smidge more going on than just the romance because she is just finding out that she is turning into a werewolf, essentially. It's hard to explain, but basically that's what's going on. And he's already a werewolf, and he's trying to, help her along with everything. And so that's how they kind of like have a slight forced proximity a little bit because of all that. And that's a little something going on other than just the romance. But if you took out the romance and left just that wouldn't probably be enough to hold the book up. Probably. But I thought it was fun. Next is Puck and Prejudice. I thought this was hilarious. I would have put this in really liked if it were not for the fact that the main male character, who is the hockey player who goes back in time to Regency England, the way they handle some things annoys me. I don't want to explain it too much, but I don't love it. Because it's like, it's a modern mindset, and he's in the Regency period, and I don't know. It just annoyed me. And then on top of that, he, like, one of the things is he meets Jane Austen, and he, like, gives Jane Austen ideas for her books, and that I really hate that. Like, it really annoys me when they do things like that, where they write a story, like a fictional story about a real female character who did amazing things, and they make it where in the fiction a man gave her the ideas, or a man helped her, and I hate that. I really hate it. So I did not like that. That's the only reason why it's in liked instead of really liked. Because other than that, I loved it. Other than that, he is a time traveling hockey player in Regis England. Was not to love. That's hilarious. Also, I will say that he gave the main female character the worst nickname I've ever heard, ever in a romance. Every time I see people talking about how much they hate like the nicknames and stuff in romances, I'm like, why? It's not a big deal. Until I read this one. I think he calls her Pocket Rocket. I know he calls her that a couple times. I can't remember if it goes throughout the book, but I remember the first time he called her that, I was like, oh no, 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 you're not. No, you're not. That's like way longer than her actual name for one. But on two, that's just dumb. Because she even asks what a rocket is, because of it's Regency England. It's it's just so dumb. I can't help but laugh. Next is Not You Again. I really like this one. This was, and I think I got this in ARC too, I think. This one is not an ARC. I got this from the library. I also got this from the library, by the way. Anyway, so this was about sort of like time travel, but sort of not. It's about these two people who are stuck in a time loop. Again, I think they're like slight enemies and lovers or whatever, but not really, not for good reasons. Or maybe it just feels like not good reasons because we know they're both sides of the story. I'm not really sure. I don't remember that aspect very well. I just remember really liking the time loop kind of story angle of it. And I thought that was fun and interesting and a little different. Which really, once again, added something other than just the romance. Next is The Love Haters. I loved this one. I love everything by Catherine Center. I love it. I did not love this one as much as the Rom-Commers, but once again, Rom-Commers is about books, and you know, as I said already several times, I love books about books. This one's about, she's like a journalist, I think, and she's covering this guy's, so she's interviewing him or something, because he went viral for, like, saving a puppy or something. And I think she, like, lies about being able to swim, and he's, as you can tell from the photo, very beachy, aquatic kind of scenario, because he's like, what's it called when they, like, go in the water to save people? Like, not Navy SEAL. What is that? I don't remember what that's called. National Guard? Coast Guard? Coast Guard. I think it's Coast Guard. That makes sense. And that's what he does. And so, like, she's gonna have to go in the water, and she doesn't know how to swim, and it didn't. I don't love miscommunication trope, but whatever. I did like the rest of this book. I really like Catherine Cinder's writing style. And next one is this one. I only read this book because of NetGalley was having this thing where it was like a summer camp reading thing, and you had to read one of the books they had selected in order to get like a little badge or something on your account. And I'm a sucker for badges. I want them all. I don't care what I have to do to get them. So that's the one I picked because all the other books I really wasn't interested in. And honestly, I wasn't interested in this one either. But like, this was a guy, like, I've never really heard of him before this. So I was like, okay, that'd be interesting to read something about someone I don't know anything about. Because normally I read biographies of people I know at least a good bit about them already. Like, the last one I read, I think was about, I think it was on one of Carrie Fisher's books, I think. And I know a lot about her already, obviously, because I've read several of them now. So it was interesting to read one about someone I had not heard of before, and it was okay. I feel weird rating someone's biography because it's like I'm rating their life, but it was okay. I wouldn't have read it if it weren't for the badge. And then, hold on, my husband's texting me again. Okay, so here we are. Picture Perfect. I loved this. I loved it. I like that whole series, but I think that one, when I read this one at the time, this one was my favorite one. I don't remember. No, the next book in the series I think I liked more. Did I read it that year or is that this year? Yeah, I think it was this year. I like the next one better, but at the time, this was my favorite one of the series. Really cute. Another, fake relationship. I'm a sucker for it. And I also just really like Tessa Bailey's like writing style in general. Yeah, I just like it. I really liked it a lot. About two baseball players fall in love, and she wants to pretend to be dating this guy, so that she can meet the guy she likes. Jealous, and of course they end up falling in love with each other instead. And he's like a side character in like the other books, and I loved him. He's so funny, and so I really liked him having his own book, and his personality doesn't change in his book as how he is in the other books that much. He's just more fleshed out. I really like that because I really hate it when the like a side character in a series gets their own book and suddenly their personality is like really different, sort of like how this one kind of was. But it's just more, you just get to see more of him essentially. You see why he is the way that he is. I liked him. Next is Not Safe for Work. Another arc. I listened to the audiobook and it was meh on audiobook, but I know if I had just read it, I would have disliked it, and I may have even DNF'd it because it was just like, how was the other one on here? It was just like this one, where they're disliking each other, enemies for no real reason. Actually, their reason's a little more sounded than theirs, but not by much. And they're just mean to each other for just. And they're just so childish. Oh my gosh. Like, they're supposed to be adults. Like, with an actual, like, established careers. Like, I think when I was reading it, I was assuming they were, like, in their early 30s with how advanced their career was. But I think they're actually, like, in their late 20s and they just, like, wonderkins kind of thing. But it's just so childish. So annoying. Oh. But like some of like the writing style I liked, and a few other things I did like, so that's why it's meh instead of just disliked. But I do remember having a hard time getting through it. Like I wanted to DNF it, but I got it as an arc, and so I really didn't want to DNF an arc. But yeah. Anyway, so this one is another one of the When in Rome series. I really like this one. I'm gonna say I really like this one. I love this one, and I'm loving When in Rome, or I loved When in Rome. And then I really liked the Practice Perfect one, the bodyguard one. So I really like this one. Once again, enemies to lovers, but they're not really enemies. They just don't get along. I'm not sure, because the way it's portrayed of reasons why they're enemies, I don't think they would ever get past that to become lovers, because of their enemies thing is really just them being different people and just not meshing well, and that's just not going to change. And so I don't know, I just didn't buy that part. But I really like the main male character. I really like the older sister, because I identify with that obviously as another older sister. So that whole dynamic of how you feel about your siblings and taking care of them and everything like that. And that's a really big thing for her, because both her parents passed away when they were pretty young. And so she feels that even more than I ever could. And so it's just, I really liked all that stuff. But that whole enemies to lovers thing was a little annoying. It was also pretty one-sided. She mostly just disliked him, mostly. And then next is Heartstrings, which is the second book in a series that I loved. Oh gosh, the setting is amazing. I will say I didn't like this one as much as the first one. The first one is perfection. I love Callum, the main male character in the first book. Love him. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not good at pronouncing like the Irish, slightly Irishy names. There are like some just standard like American names that I can't even say. So it's not just them or anyone really. I'm just not good at pronouncing words. Anyway, it's about these two. They dated back in the past. They broke up when he went to go follow his dreams to become a musician, and she stayed where she was to become like a doctor or a nurse or something. And they meet again at the the main characters in the first book's wedding because they're best friends with them, and they're forced together, and you know, second chance romance and all that. I will say I normally don't like the second chance romance trope, but I liked it here a little bit more because of like it did seem a little more realistic that they would have broken up, yes, from that, but they could get past it in a reasonable, mature way. Now, granted, the first breakup could have been completely resolved if they just talked to each other, but some people just don't talk about their feelings very well, and so it wasn't to an extreme extent where it was like unrealistic. So it was like, okay, I can see someone not talking about that. If that makes sense. But I liked it. Next one is a manga series. I really like this one a lot. I'm gonna put both of them up here because I read them both at the same time. As you can tell from the cover, they go together. It's a really sweet manga about a cop and a blind woman meet and they fall in love. And it's just really sweet and tender. It's just, oh, it's such a sweet book series. I think there's more books after this. I can't remember if there is or not. Because these are both arcs. I got them both at the same time. But it was just such a sweet series. Next is Code Word Romance. It's about spies. It was exciting. It was fun. I love it when they have something other than just romance going on. Like, I really think that if they took the romance aspect out of this book, this could still work. That's one of the things that really I look for in a romance book. Like, if you took the romance out, would the rest of the story still work? If not, then it's probably not going to be enough to hold my attention. But yeah, so it's about so she looks just like an ambassador or something, and he is I guess I can't remember, it's like CIA or some other alphabet agency, essentially. And so they used to date back when they were in high school, and they've broken up after a while. And so he remembers her looking a lot like the ambassador that they're trying to protect, and so they hire her to impersonate the ambassador for a while for an important trip, and he's going to be her bodyguard because someone's trying to assassinate the actual ambassador. And it's exciting, it's fun, it's interesting. I loved it. I really liked it a lot. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it in loved. Just talking about it makes me excited. And the next is Dream Girl Drama. I liked this one. It was not my favorite in the series because I think it's the same series as this one. Yeah, the same series as this one. I liked it. It was pretty good. I loved Tessa Bailey's writing. I like this whole world that this series is in. I found the main female character really annoying in the beginning, but she grew on me. He's a side character in the other books, and I like him. And once again, she's able to manage making the side character still feel the same character in his own book while still being more fleshed out, but not changing him, if that makes any sense. And so I did like that. The only thing is just like it was built up to be like, oh, the whole premise is a taboo romance, because there's step siblings. They're not really. They're not really. Like their parents don't even get married until like near the end of the book, I think, or something like that. For one, and they meet and have like their first like kiss or something like that before they even know that they could ever be possibly related, like by marriage or anything like that. So I was talking to a friend of mine about this book, And her thing was like, oh, that's way too taboo. That's too much. It's too close. Like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, am I too Alabama for this? That's why this is this doesn't bother me. Um, that I just like they're playing it as if like it was like this. I recognize that's taboo. I understand that it's weird. I wouldn't do it, but I also they were making it seem as if they were like full blood relations or something like that, and like they grew up together. Like they were thinking it was they were acting as if it was that level of taboo when it wasn't, and that's what I find annoying. Like they're making it a it's a big deal, but they're making it into a giant deal when they don't need to, and it's not. If that makes any sense, that kind of annoyed me. They did the same thing with this one, where it's like they made it as if a bigger deal than it was. Like they're acting as if like in this one, they're acting as if like he's like in his 40s and she's like 17 or something. It's like no, she's in her mid to late 20s and he's like in his late 30s, early 40s maybe. I They act like he's much older than he is. I think he's actually like 36, which is I think not that old. Though I may be biased since that's about how old I am. But I also don't see myself ever dating someone. I don't think I would ever date anyone that young. Now that I think about it, though. But I wouldn't judge someone who did. Like if they were dating someone who was like in their mid to late 20s and like had an established career and was like acted very adult, like the main female character in that book did. Because like if they're like still living at home and they still have their mom do other laundry and they don't have a job and they still act really childish, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. But whatever. We're talking about other books now. Sorry, I could rant about this one for a while. Next one is Knows When You're Sleeping, I think is what it's called. I don't know. This was a little like Christmas dark romance novella. I really liked it. I thought that was cute. I don't know what else to say. Like the things I have found wrong with it are things that I knew going in because of that's how dark romance works. Like, the main male character being weird in general. Like, yeah, he's a stalker. He's going to be weird. Normal people don't stalk people. You know? But once I got past, like, going into it, I was able to kind of look past that kind of stuff a little bit more since I knew going in that's what's going to be happening. And I was able to really like it. Like the story, like the writing. I think I have since read more from like this author and more of these, and so I'm getting some of the details I think mixed up in my head. But I think this is the one where the main female character is like an influencer, and I remember being really annoyed because I'm like, that's not how social media works at all, like not even close, and I found that really annoying. But yeah, that's just a me being nitpicky thing because that's my job. So. Next is Great Big Beautiful Life. I really like this one. I have since seen reviews and stuff about this, pointing out things I didn't really notice before, and like, oh yeah, that wasn't great. But I did really like it when I was reading it, and I don't think I'll ever reread it, honestly. But I remember, okay, there's two stories going on. One is the contemporary romance, which, quite honestly, a little boring. And then the other one was the history of the woman they're trying to interview and her life and everything. And that was more interesting. That part was more interesting. Actually, the more I'm talking about it, the more I think I just liked it. I liked it a lot, but I don't think it's the same as the rest of these books here. Because it's definitely not my favorite Emily Henry book. But I liked it when I read it. I read it really quickly, like in a couple days, but her writing style is just really easy for me to really just read really quickly. So, and that's not really saying a whole lot about how much I like the book. It's just her writing in general, with the exception of The Happy Place. I don't know why people like that one so much. I really just actually did not like that one very much. Next is The Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I loved it. I thought it was really cute and sweet. I thought it was really fun. I like the little play on things. I love all the bros. I love a found family trope. It's just great. I love a little mistaken identity. It's a delight. And so it's about this group of earls who, this is also, like, as you can tell from the talking about earls and everything like that, This is a time period thing set in the, I think, late 1800s, early 1900s maybe. I can't really remember. I think it's early 1900s. And it's a group of earls who go on this trip every year. And like I think the other books in the series are also around that same trip. They do it every year, but every book is a different earl getting a romance. And this one is, I can't remember the one's name, but it's one of the side characters from one of the main guys. And he has been communicating with this publisher about getting some of his poems published, but she thinks he's a woman because of he's trying to get his work published in what's considered a woman magazine. And so she assumes he's a woman from their letters and everything like that, and he doesn't sign his full name. He signs like his first initial, then last name. And so she just assumes that he's a woman from their letters, and he doesn't correct her because of she won't be able to talk to him like she does if he's a woman, if she knew he were a man, because of the time period they're in. She really can't do that because of like society and all that. But he really likes her, wants to get to know her, and he knows he can't if she knows that he's not a woman. So, and then they accidentally meet each other during the Earl's trip. And, of course, they fall in love, and it's adorable. I really like it. And next is Everyone Wants to Rule the World Except Me, I think. I can't read that. This is the second in the book in the series. I like this one. I didn't like it as much as the first one. It was okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember how this one ends, so I can't remember if this is like a duology or a trilogy, and there's gonna be another book. I don't think there's another book, so I think it actually ended here. But I really don't remember this one very well. Yeah, I don't remember the details of this one very well. Because once again, I read this pretty early on. I think I got this as an arc. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this as an arc. Most of these are arcs. I started doing my 75 book challenge because I read so many arcs last year and read hardly any from my bookshelf. I'm not doing well in the 75 book challenge. I think I've done it a total of like 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, total in the whole since I've started in January. So it's not going well. I'm pretty much giving up on it now. But I'm trying to make a more active effort to read more books from my shelf instead of just arcs. Okay, so on to the next one. So novel love story. I really like this one a lot. I just really like it. It's Ashley Poston. She is just such a great writer. I love how it's sort of like how Emily Henry is, where it's just I can read them really quickly and easily, and it's really I just love it. I love her writing style. And so it's about a woman who is going to a book retreat with her friends, and she gets stuck in a storm, and then she somehow ends up in a town from the books, one of her favorite book series, and she meets someone, and they get to know each other and all that stuff. I did really like this one, but I think I just liked it a lot, actually, now that I think about it. The more I'm thinking about the stories I'm talking about it, it's like, I don't think I liked it as much as these, so I think it really does belong down here. Because there are some things about the romance that I'm just like, didn't love about it. I don't want everything I didn't love about it, I can't really feel like I can say because it just feels like a spoiler. Like it's big spoilers and stuff. But there were a few things that I was like, the first half of the book I loved, and the second half I was like, yeah. But I still love her writing style. It's weird when you don't like the story, but you love the way it is written. But anyway, on to the next book. Days at the, oh my gosh, how that is so small. Days at the Morisaki Bookstore, I think how you pronounce it. I really like this one a lot. I love books about books. What can I say? It was a really short book too. But it was really cute. It was about a cozy bookstore, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember a whole lot about it other than I read it in one sitting because once again it's a really short book, and I read it outside in the sunshine. It was so nice. It was just a nice, relaxing day. I took it with me to the park. It was such a nice day. I want to do that again. So I got me a little picnic. It was just so great. And so the next one is another webtoon that I got an arc for the book for, and I really like the series a lot. It's about a girl who oh gosh, it's hard to explain this succinctly. So it's about a girl who's having to hide that she's really a fairy, and she's living in the human world in the court of the king of the humans and everything like that. And the mage that's there makes a human like sentient like body armor as their bodyguard, and they get to know each other, and it's so sweet, and it's I love it. It's such a sweet story. I need to pick it back up because I didn't get the last two books on NetGalley, but like it's on Webtoon, so I think I can just read it on Webtoon. I'm not really sure if when they're on Webtoons first, if they change the story much when it comes to book, because like I said for like the this series here, because like they're changing it from being scrolling to pages. So I know they changed the artwork, or at least they're probably gonna have to, especially this one, because this one I remember reading when I was reading it. They have a lot of pages where it just scrolls all the way, and so they can't do that obviously in a book. So the artwork definitely changes in this one, but I don't think it changes that much for this one. But the artwork is astounding. The story is amazing. I love this series so much. I will say I did stop reading it on Webtoon because it got sad, and I don't like sad things. If I want sad things, I'll just read the news. But I do want to pick it back up because it was really sweet. And next is the 9-month contract. This is another arc I got. I really like this one. This is from the same series as, where's the other one? Where is the other one? This one, Honeymoon Phase. It's the same story. This main character and this main character are brothers, and they fall in love. And it's like, not they, obviously the brothers. I mean, the brothers fall in love with other people, obviously. So he wants to have a kid. So he puts out a ad for he wants to hire a surrogate, and she answers it, and then they fall in love. It's such a sweet story. I love it. And I love that whole series. And the next is Ghost Whisperer. I loved this one. The main male character is insufferable in the beginning. Like, he's insufferable in general and insufferable to the main female character. And like, he doesn't think before he speaks. And sometimes even when he thinks when he speaks, he doesn't think enough. And it's just really annoying. That's the only thing that kept me from doing like a 5-star read. I love this series. I love the first book, and I cannot wait for the next one. And I just really like this series. I like this author. This author has also written a few other. It has another series that I really like about a Ren Fair. Like, it's all different people at the Ren Fair that fall in love with each other, and it's adorable and sweet. And I'm rereading the series now because she just announced that she's making the next or the last book in the series. And so I want to have it all refreshed in my mind because of the series has been going on for a while. And so, like, I haven't read, like, the first one in a really long time. And so I barely remembered any of it. So I want to reread the whole series. And this is her other series. Because in this world, ghosts are real. And so she knows that, and he doesn't. And so, as you can imagine, hilarity ensues. Anyway. Next is Wedded to the Werewolf. I like this one a lot. However, I found that some story details really annoying. Like, the reason why they're accidentally wedded to each other is because of some magical werewolf elixir that is just lying out in the middle of nowhere, like in the like in their cabin or whatever, because he runs a lodge, like a hotel thing, and he drinks it, not for some reason, not remembering this is a super important elixir thing in his culture, and something that they apparently have classes on all growing up, and somehow he just doesn't remember it. I don't know. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And so he actually drinks it, and then she finds it, like, he puts it down on the counter, and he walks away and does something else, and she's thirsty, and she drinks the rest of it, and that's what makes them, that's how, like, the wedding bonding ceremony works for werewolves, and so they're accidentally bonded because of that. And I'm just like, okay, first off, it's a super important thing in his culture, and like, they make jokes about it throughout the book of how he not remember this because of, like, it's something they're all taught growing up and things like that, and like, how can he not know that, why he's like, what's wrong with you kind of thing. And then on top of that, with her, it's, you just drank random liquids that were half full in a random cabin in the woods that you were visiting. Like, who does that? and that was really annoying. That was my biggest problem with it. That was my by far biggest problem. And just that was so dumb. And then last but not least is the second death of Locke. I think that's what the name of it was. And there's Death of Locke. I can see that, but I think it was Second Death or something. Yeah. Something, or maybe the Death of Locke. I don't remember. Anyway, love the vibes of this book. Love the world and all that stuff. Let me see. I know it wasn't my favorite one of the month that I read it. I don't think it was. But oh gosh, the medieval knight vibes. She's the knight and he's not, and that's like she's protecting him. So that was a really fun change in a dynamic. There's magic involved. There's mystery. I really like this one a lot. Actually, I'm gonna put it in loved. This is another arc I got, and I was really happy because I was like, I kind of just got, like, oh, that sounds cool. I'll get it or whatever. I'll request it and whatever. So when I got it, didn't think too much about it. I was like, didn't have any expectations for it. And so I was reading it. I was like, oh, this is really good. Maybe where I looked up more like knight romances. That and the new Game of Thrones show that's out. Was it like something of the Seven Kingdoms or something? I've not watched it because I don't have HBO or whatever streaming service it's on. But I've seen so many clips on YouTube. I feel like I've been watching that series actually. And it made me look up more knight. That show and then this book is maybe where I'm looking up more romance books about knights. So if you have any suggestions for those, please comment them down below or leave them in chat or something. But so that is all of the books that I read in 2025. All 100, all sorted out. I do remember that I rated this one as my favorite book for the whole year, followed by this one, and then this one, and then I can't remember what I had as my other fourth. I think it was this one, or maybe that one. I think I had that one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so that is all of the books that I read. I hope you enjoyed this stream. And if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!